Hey guys, welcome to a new video of CSAT with Jasin. In this video, we'll be talking about the concept of sense of direction. And when it comes to sense of direction, it is quite a rewarding topic because UPSC has been asking consistently from this topic, and also this topic is considerably or relatively easier when it comes to when you compare it with other topics as well. So if you study the concepts well, you will be able to answer from this topic. So let us move on with our topic. The most important thing or the most basic thing that you need to understand from this topic is the concept of directions or the four cardinal directions. So you should know how to draw or where south, north, east and west are. Okay, so normally we write like this, right? This is north. If this direction is north, this direction is south, this direction is west, and this direction is east. And if you have someone going in this direction, you will say that he is going in the northeast direction, and this direction is southeast direction, this direction is southwest direction, and this direction is northwest direction. Okay, so in this way you will be able to draw the diagram for some questions. Okay, so another thing that you need to note here is that sometimes you need to draw like this. Sometimes your east will come like this. Okay, then you know that if east comes here, then your west will be here. But many of you will face confusion while writing north and south in this type of questions. Okay, so if your east comes here and your west comes here, the thing that you need to understand is that, or here you can apply a simple logic, that is, after south, west will come in the clockwise directions. If you see here, after this south, west is coming in the clockwise direction. So if you study this thing, you can apply it here. So south will come here, right? Because after south, in the clockwise direction, west will come and north will be coming here. Okay, we will be doing one problem. We will apply this concept, because in some problems you might need to draw the diagrams like this. It won't come always like this. So you need to understand this concept as well. Okay. Similarly, another thing that you need to note here is the concept of left and right. So you shouldn't confuse which one is left and which one is right. And every time when you are solving one problem, you should think from the perspective of the person in the question. For example, if you are given a question like there is a person here, he walks in the east direction, that means he is going like this. Then he turns left, that means he is going in this direction. Then his left is this one and his right is this one, right? So if he turns left, it means he turned like this. Okay, for another example, let's assume a guy is going south, so he is going like this. Okay, then his left is this one, and then his right is, this is his right and this is his left. So if in the question says that a guy moves south and then he turns to his right, it means that he turns like this. Okay, so in this you need to understand the concept of left and right, and you should think about the left and right from the perspective of the person in the question. Okay, so this is very important. So another concept that you need to understand is the concept of the shadow. So I'm drawing a diagram like this. Let's assume that this is east and this is west, and we know that sun rises in the east. So in some questions you will be getting like in the morning or like that, or in the evening, something like that. So in the morning, sun will be here. Sun will be in the east direction. Okay, because sun has only risen. So sun will be here, and you have a pole like this. Let's assume you have a pole like this, and since sun is in the east direction, its rays are coming like this. So the shadow of the pole will be here. And if a person is standing here looking at the pole, this shadow will be in his left side, because this is the left of this person and this is the right of this person. So if the sun is in the east direction, the shadow will be in the left of this person. Okay. Similarly, in the evening, sun will be here. Sun will be in the west side because it's going to set. Okay. So sun sets in the west. So sun is here and its rays are coming like this, and the shadow will be here. So in this case, if a person is looking at the pole like this, okay, then the shadow of the pole will be to his right side. So this concept you need to understand very well. This also you can use this concept in order to solve different kind of questions. We'll be solving different models of questions in this video, and you can, in one of the question you will be able to apply this concept. Okay. Now we will move on to one more thing, that is the concept of rotations. In some questions you will be given like a person is traveling towards south, then he turned 90-degree clockwise, or he turned 45-degree clockwise, something like that. So in those kinds of question I will tell you how to approach it. So let's assume a person is here, he is walking towards south, he walked like 2 kilometers, so he is here now. Then the question says that he turned 45-degree to his clockwise direction, 45-degree clockwise. Okay, so it says that he turned 45-degree clockwise. So in such cases what you need to do, you need to draw a dotted line in the direction that he was walking. So he was walking in the south direction. I am so he is here now, but I am extending this line with some dots. Okay, so I am drawing a dotted line like this. Then the question says that he turned clockwise 45-degree, right? So clockwise means in this direction he is rotating 45 degrees. So that means you need to draw 45-degree from this dotted line. So let's say this is 45-degree, so he is turning like this. Okay, so from there he traveled, let's say 1 kilometer. So he traveled like this, he reached here. Okay, then the question says that he turned 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So the thing is that you need to draw a dotted line like this, and question says that he turned 90-degree anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise means, or counterclockwise or anti-clockwise means this rotation. Okay, so from here you need to draw 90-degree, then he will be moving like this now. So the question might ask like in which direction he is moving now. So he is moving like this. So this is, if you draw directions like this, this is north, this is east, this is west, and this is south. So this is southeast direction. So questions can come like this. So you should understand the concept of rotation as well. Okay. So in some questions you might ask like a person is traveling to east, then he turned right or something like that, and finally the question might ask what is his distance, what is the shortest distance between his current position and with respect to his first position. So in some of the questions you might be needing to use the Pythagoras theorem to solve it. So you will be knowing the Pythagoras theorem. I am explaining it once again because you need this for the solving this question. So let's assume a right angled triangle. This is the right angle. Okay, this is 90-degree, and the Pythagoras theorem states that if this side is A, this side, the length of this side is B, and the length of hypotenuse is C, then it says that C square, that is the square of hypotenuse, is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides, that is A square plus B square. So this is the Pythagoras theorem, and the numbers that satisfies Pythagoras theorem is known as Pythagorean triplets. For example, I'll give you some examples for Pythagorean triplets. Okay, so this is a Pythagoras theorem. C square is equal to A square plus B square. So let's take 3, 4 and 5. That means you have a triangle, a right angled triangle like this. Let's assume this side is 3, this side is 4. Then what will be this hypotenuse? Hypotenuse square is equal to 3 square plus 4 square, that is 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 9 plus 16 is equal to 25, that is hypotenuse square is equal to 25. So this side is the square root of 25, that is root of 25 is equal to 5. So 3, 4 and 5 satisfies the Pythagoras theorem. This means that 3, 4 and 5 are Pythagorean triplets. So I am saying the concept of Pythagorean triplets because if in a question you got this as 3 and you got this as 4, you don't need to solve the Pythagoras theorem. If you know that 3, 4 and 5 are Pythagorean triplets, you can directly write 5 here. Okay, so you can use that. And another a trick that you can use here is that if you multiply the same number with 3, 4 and 5, then again it will be a Pythagorean triplets. For example, I am multiplying 2 with 3, 4 and 5. So 3 into 2 you will get 6, 4 into 2 you will get 8, 5 into 2 you will get 10. And 6, 8 and 10 will again be a Pythagorean triplets. For example, if you draw like this, if this is x6, this is 8, then 6 square plus 8 square is equal to 36 plus 64. This is equal to 100. Root of 100 is 10. So this is 10. So 6, 8 and 10 again will be a Pythagorean triplets. So I will tell you how you need to solve. Like if you have you got this as 21, you got this as 28, and you need to find the hypotenuse. Then what you can do is, the simplest method is, you don't need to take 21 square, then you need to multiply and find what is 21 square. You need to take 28, multiply and find what is 28 square. You don't need to do all that. If you can divide 21 and 28 with the same number, you know that 21 is divisible by 7 and 28 is also divisible by 7, right? So 21 by 7 you will get 3, 28 by 7 you will get 4. We know that 3, 4 and 5 are Pythagorean triplets. So if 3 and 4 comes, it will be 5. So here 21 and 28 is there. That means you have divided with 7. So if you multiplied 5 with 7, you get 35. So this will be 35. So in this way you can easily solve Pythagorean triplets. Okay, so this you can use this trick in order to solve the questions from sense of direction. That's why I have told this trick. Okay, so now let us move on to different questions that UPSC has asked, and I will also be giving some practice questions as well. Okay, so let's take this question. This is a question from UPSC 2022. Two friends X and Y start running and they run together for 50 meters in the same direction. So X and Y are running together and they ran 50 meters in the same direction, and then they reach a point. X turns right and runs 60 meters. Y turns left and runs 40 meters. Then X turns left and runs 50 meters and stops. Okay, then Y turns right and runs 50 meters and then stops. How far are the friends from each other? So if you read this question, you might be a little bit confused, or some persons may feel that this is a bigger question, so you are not able to understand or something like that. But remember that the questions from sense of direction will actually be very easy. Okay, you will be able to solve it if you know the basic concept of sense of direction, that is the basic directions, what is left and what is right, the concept of rotation and all. You will be able to solve it. So don't approach the question with a negative mentality. Just go and read it and try to draw the figure. Okay, so let us start drawing the figure. So X and Y started running and they ran together in the same direction, though. So here direction they are not giving, like they haven't said that X and Y is running in the east direction or west direction. So in that case you can consider it as any direction. So I am assuming that X and Y started from this point and they ran like this for 50 meters. So they are together now. Okay, they ran 50 meters and then they reach a point. This is that point. Okay, this is that point. Now X turns right and runs for 60 meters. So here, as I already mentioned, you need to take the right with respect to the question or with respect to the person in the question. So they are running like this in this direction. That means their right is here, left is here. So X turns right means X turned like this and he runs 60 meters. Y turns left and he ran 40 meters. So Y is here now, Y is here and X is here. Okay, then X turns left. So X is running like this. That means X, the right of X is here and left of X is here. So X turns left and runs 50 meters. So X ran like this. This is 50. X is now here. Y turns right. So Y is moving like this. So his right is here. His left is here. So he turns right and run again 50 meters and then he stops. So how far are the friends from each other? So we need to find this distance, right? So we know that if I draw like this, we know that this is 60. It is given in the question. So this will be 60 and this is 40. That means this is 40. So our answer is just 40 plus 60, which is equal to 100. See, this was actually a very simple question and one of my friend actually didn't do this problem in the CSAT paper because it seems like a bigger question. So she wasn't reading this very well. Okay, so these kinds of questions are actually very easy. You just need to read it and then you need to draw the figure and try to solve the problem. Okay, so now let us move on to the next question. So a woman runs 12 kilometers north, then 6 kilometers towards her south, then 8 kilometers towards east. In which direction is she from her starting position? So this is a 2021 question, and if you check the options, you can see that it is saying about 45 degrees north of east, south of east, etc. So here it has asked about the rotation, the degrees are there. So let us see how we can solve this. So a woman ran 12 kilometers north. So so let us take the directions like this. This is north, this is south, this is east and this is west. So she ran 12 kilometer north first. So she ran like this. She is here now. Okay. So this is 12. Okay. Then she's then 6 kilometer towards her south. So from here she ran again backwards 6 kilometer towards south. She is here. So this is 6. Then 8 kilometer towards east. So she ran like this, 8 kilometer towards east. This is 8 kilometers. Okay. So in which direction is she from her starting position? This was her starting position and this is her final position. So she is like this in this direction. So this direction is north east. Okay. So we can eliminate option A because it is saying south of east, and also option C because it is also saying south of east. She is north of east. Okay. Northeast means north of east. And the thing you need to understand here is that in these options, which angle you need to find out? It is the angle north of east. So from east, how much angle she is? So they are asking this angle. Okay, north of east means this angle. They are asking this angle. So we need to find whether this angle is less than 45 degree or more than 45 degree. So if I consider a triangle like this, so if you take this as a triangle, this is 6 and this is 8, right? So here what you need to understand is that the angle opposite to largest side of a triangle will be the largest. If I take a triangle like this, and if this side is the largest, then this angle will be the largest. So you need to understand this concept. This is a concept from geometry. So opposite to the angle, the greatest angle will be opposite to the greatest side. So here 8 is more than 6. That means this will be a greater angle and this will be a smaller angle. And you know that this is 90 degree because this is a right angled triangle. So if this is 90 degree, you know that the sum of all angles of a triangle will be 180 degree, right? So if this is 90, then the sum of other two angles, this angle and this angle, will be 90 degree. So since this is the smaller angle, this will be less than 45 degree. And since this is the bigger angle, this will be greater than 45 degree. So our answer will be an angle less than 45 degree north of east. So B is the right answer. Okay. So now let us look into a different example. A man walks down the back side of his house straight 25 meters. Then he turns to the right and walks 50 meter again. Then he turns left and again walks 25 meter. If his house faces to the east, what is his direction from the starting point? It says that his house faces to the east. So if I draw his house like this, this is the front side of the house, right? Because this is east and this is the back side of the house. Okay. So actually the man walks down the back side of the house straight 25 meters. So he's moving like this. He reached here 25 meters and this is his direction. Okay. If he's going like this, this will be his right and this will be his left. Okay, so he turns to the right and walks 50 meters. So he turns to his right and walked 50 meters like this. So he walked like this and then he turns to his left. So if he is moving like this, this is his right and this is his left. So he turns towards his left and walks 25 meters. So he walks 25 meters like this. If his house faces to the east, in which direction? Is he from the starting point? So this is his starting point. Okay, so his direction is like this. So this direction is, this is north and this is west, right? So he is in the northwest direction. Okay, so now let us do some practice questions as well in order for you to understand the concept well. So B is east of A. So B is east of A. So that means, let us say this is our point A. Then B is east of A. That means B is somewhere here because this is east. And A is south of C. A is south of C. Okay, that means C is somewhere here because A is south of C. So A is south from C. So C is somewhere here. Now D is south of B. D is south of B. So D will be somewhere here. And E is west of D. So E will be somewhere here. Okay, then which of the following is correct? E is south of A, E is southeast of A, E is southwest of A. Okay, so here if you see the last statement, it says that E is west of D. So E can be here, E can be here because in this case E is west of D, in this case E is west of D, and E can be here also. In this case also E is west of D. So E can be south. This is actually, if you take this direction, this is southwest. So E can be southwest of A, E can be south of A, E can be southeast of A as well. So we cannot determine. Option D is the right answer. I have given you this question so that you understand much more about the directions. Okay, now let us move into another practice question. So let's read this question. Early morning after sunrise, Chandrika and Vandana were talking to each other face to face. Chandrika's shadow was exactly to her left. Then which direction Vandana is facing? So we know that it's morning, right? So I already told you that sun will be in the east. So this is east, sun is here. Now Chandrika and Vandana were talking to each other face to face. So let's say that they are talking like this. Okay, they are talking like this. So this person is looking south like this, and this person is looking north like this. Now it says that Chandrika's shadow was exactly to her left. This means that Chandrika's shadow was to her left. So if this is Chandrika, her shadow will be to her left like this, right? This is her left and this is Chandrika's right. So if her shadow is like this, this means that her shadow is to her left. So it will be like this. That means this will be Vandana, because they are talking face to face, right? So Vandana is facing south direction. Okay, and one thing that you need to note here is that if the question was like Chandrika's shadow was exactly to Vandana's left. So if the question, I am modifying the question as like this. Chandrika's shadow was exactly to Vandana's left. Okay, that means in that case, this will be Vandana. Because Chandrika's shadow, this is Chandrika, then Chandrika's shadow will be here. This means that Chandrika's shadow is exactly to Vandana's left, because this is Vandana's left and this is Vandana's right. Then in that case, Vandana will be facing the north direction, right? So you need to understand the question very well. Here the question is asked like Chandrika's shadow was exactly to her left, then it comes south. But if the question was like Chandrika's shadow was exactly to Vandana's left, then the answer would have been north. Okay. So let us look into one more question. Anu started walking towards east. So Anu is walking like east. Okay, towards east. So she was here. She is walking like this. After walking 2 kilometers, so she walked 2 kilometers. Her position is here. She turns 90-degree clockwise. So I have told you that in case of, if you are given questions like this, clockwise, anti-clockwise rotation, you need to draw dotted line like this. So she is turning clockwise, that means she is turning like this. So from here you need to draw 90 degree, that means she turned like this. Okay, and traveled 1 kilometer. So this is 90 degree and she traveled 1 kilometer. So now she is here. From there she turned 45 degree counterclockwise. So again you need to draw the dotted line like this, and counterclockwise means like this. So from this dotted line you need to draw 45 degree. So she is going like this now. So in which direction is she walking now? She is walking in this direction. So this means this is east and this is south. So she is walking in the southeast direction. Okay, so option B is the right answer. So guys, thank you so much. If you like the video, please do subscribe, share and support. Thanks again for watching.